Hey guys, what is up? Zero here, and welcome back to Fruits of the Literature Club, Chapter 5, Yuri Route. In the last episode, we finally got Yuri out of the school, out of that old abandoned school. Finally got out of there, all banged up and bruised and stuff, but we made it out regardless. Everyone's alive and okay. And yeah, now we are going to proceed. When I come to, a weird tingly feeling covers my body. The painkillers must be constantly fed into me, and I'm not used to it. It's almost nauseating. I place both of my hands on the guardrails and help prop myself up. Julie isn't in the room, and I was hoping to see Yuri, but oh well. A pretty-looking nurse sits at a desk in the room and writes on a whiteboard behind it. I never noticed that desk before. I must have been out of it last night. Jesus. Oh, Zero, you're awake. Did you sleep well? I have almost no recollection of anything that happened, so I'm not really sure. Yeah, well, you weren't in that good of a condition when you came in. You became unstable and we had to give you immediate care. How does a boy like yourself ever even get so hurt? By protecting someone he cares about. Aw, that's sweet. It was that girl when you came in, right? Girl with you when you came in, right? Yeah, her name is Yuri. She's a sweet girl. One of the other nurses tells me she keeps asking for you. But unfortunately, the both of you needed your rest. I understand. Taking a look around and peering out the window into the sunlight that blankets my eyes, I remind myself of the events that happened last night. There was so much, and how badly I was hurt really made it difficult to recall. How long am I going to be in here for? Around a week. She turns around to face me. A wound as bad as the one in your stomach is going to need a lot of attention and care. You also have to factor in that you went into hypervolemic shock. Jesus, did I lose that much blood? Oh yeah, you're almost dead white when you came in. We managed to stabilize you and get you comfortable for us to get that out of the way first. Now we're just going to need to check up on you over the course of the next week so we can make sure you're getting better. Damn, that's a long time. I hate hospitals. No one really likes them. But they're here to save lives, and you were inches from losing yours. I'm grateful. Thank you, ma'am. Speaking of which, now that you're awake, she stands up from the desk, walks over to me, and begins wrapping the cuff of a spigometer around my arm. You might feel extremely dizzy for a minute. I just need to measure your blood pressure. Then I'm gonna get you your breakfast. Oh my god, you're a saint. Oh, stop. So I was told by my guardian that Yuri's blood labs are still pending. Do you think you have any guess as to what she had? I'm afraid not. The entire situation with you two is foggy to me. I tend to not take much attention to stuff like that. It's just something you learn as a nurse after a while. Even if I did know, I can't really tell you. Information regarding her care is proprietary and confidential. I understand completely. The nurse presses a button on an overly complicated medical device, and the cuff around my arm fills with air and compresses. Almost immediately, I start feeling extremely dizzy. If you're dizzy, just lean back against the bed until it's over. I do as she says and wait for it to stop. When she's done, the cuff eases the pressure on my arm, and I can almost literally feel the blood rush back through. Whew, that was a lot more unpleasant than I would have liked. Sorry about that. It's fine. Let me go get your breakfast now. Just the mere mention of food makes my stomach grumble violently. I assume that I can eat solids and all, right? Yeah, your stomach wasn't pierced, thank God. You wouldn't have survived if it was. The gastric juices and hydrochloric acid would have leaked over your organs, and I don't think I would need to finish the rest of that description. Spare me. I don't think my stomach is strong enough to handle that. We both chuckle. I'll be right back. She promptly leaves the room. As she exits, Julie enters. Flirting with the medical staff, I see. Hey, you do what you must to get information. Sure. She walks over to me, arms crossed and wearing a smug face, and sits down. What's with the face? Guess what I got? A new brand of perfume you plan to asphyxiate me with? What? No! What lies? You have no better opportunity to take me out than now, woman. How can I believe you won't? Ugh. She grunts and that smug smile turns to a stern scowl. For real, though. Shut up! You play around at, like, the worst times. She rubs her forehead. Give me a break. I'm like a quarter dead. I give you a break when you decide to give me one. Julia, you'd never break me. Maybe if you were younger... Oh my god! No! Julia's face flushes red and she looks away. I have your girlfriend's blood lab results. Julia makes quotes with her fingers. Anything interesting? Actually, yes. Julia pulls a small envelope out of a shirt pocket in her suit and places it on the bed. I promptly grab it and open it. Well, what she tested positive for seems to be an altered form of ketamine. Ketamine, isn't that meant to be an anesthetic? Traditionally, it's administered as one, but the traces of the blood lab found didn't match the common variants of ketamine. You did say she was having severe hallucinations, and she can't really recall much of those hallucinations to explain. So I think it was altered with a hallucinogen. Which, if so, kind of makes sense as to why your captors gave it to her in the first place. What do you mean? Think about it, Zero. To either force her to tell them information, or to incapacitate her. Maybe both. You're on the right track. She also did end up getting aggressive and attacking things around her. Maybe it was foreseen and they wanted her to attack you, making your escape more difficult? That would mean they would need to rely on Yuri's emotional problems. I don't quite think that's something they just know about. Does she keep that stuff hidden? Like you have no idea. I guess the only noticeable part of that is the cuts on her wrist. But she told me she was going to stop doing that. Julia stiffens her posture suddenly, but slightly. What the hell are you hiding from me? Julia lowers her voice. When Yuri was checked in, she had several wounds on her wrist that were badly infected. Son of a bitch. I lean back against the bed and calm myself. Those kinds of infections are never good. Is she okay? She'll be fine, but she told me not to tell you right away. Why the hell not? Again, think about it. She feels like she completely betrayed you. She explained to me how much trust you put in her, and she was proud of herself for being strong enough to resist those urges. She even mentioned her little idea about drawing or writing on her wrist instead of cutting. Which, by the way, very good idea. But to a girl like her, that trust meant everything. Her doing what she did made her feel like she wasted your confidence in her and that you'll just drop her. I see. You understand a little better now? Completely. Julia's little lecture right there hit deep and it hit hard. It really makes me want to see Yuri more. I want to tell her it's okay. I want to tell her that she impressed me and made me trust her more than I ever have. I want to tell her that she was stronger than I was last night. Because she was. She was drugged, hurt, stressed, guilt-ridden, and fearing for her life constantly for days. And even after majorly wounding me, she still helped and tried her best for me. She held up through everything, and I didn't. I'll be damned if she thinks she betrayed me. Realizing I've spaced out pretty hard, I focus back on Julia. You're thinking pretty hard over there. Yeah, just reflecting, and that's all. What are the doctors going to do about the drug? Well, she was administered a very large and dangerous dose. She reacted pretty badly to it as well. But the staff has made her comfortable, and they've already given her countermeasures for it. She's going to be okay. Good. I lean back onto the bed again and heave a sigh. Good. You certainly do care a lot for her, don't you? Yeah, more than I expected I would. That's sweet. Don't overanalyze. We're not dating or anything. Your tone of voice deceives you. We're not dating, Julia. Do you want to? I stay silent for a solid 10 seconds before responding. Mind your own damn business. That's so cute. Yeah, have your laugh. I can't help it. When can I see her? I'm not actually sure. Why don't you flirt with the nurse a bit more to schmooze it out of her? Dear God, your word choice could have been a lot better. Also, you know damn well I get jealous when I do and get all pouty. Exactly. I hate you. Don't hate me for knowing you like a book. Keep your pages hidden, miss. Oh, I taught you well. Very. After a few more minutes of my self-reflection, the nurse walks in holding a plastic tray. Sorry to keep you waiting, but I got your food fresh. Thank you. When can I see Yuri? In just a little bit. She's being discharged right now. Hearing those words lift my spirit up a little, so I silently eat my breakfast and wait. After eating my breakfast, the nurse takes my tray after performing some more checkups, another blood pressure test, and an EKG test to make sure my heart's still performing correctly. Julia gets up and leaves the room without saying anything. She returns a few minutes later with a purple-haired sight that I've longed to see ever since I collapsed. Yuri! Zero! I'm so glad you're okay. She rushes over to my bedside. Ditto. How are you feeling? Definitely a lot better than I was last night. That's for sure. How's your stomach? It's been better. But what matters is that I'm alive, and those bastards didn't take us down. Right. I look over to Julia and nod to the side, gesturing her to leave. She acknowledges it and walks out of the room. Yuri, I'm sorry for all of that. You of all people didn't deserve to get mixed up in that, and you could have died because of me. That's a burden I'm going to carry for the rest of my life. Zero. Even if I wasn't in the situation I was in, I still would have helped you. Huh? You mean a lot to me, and I think we have a lot more in common than we see. I know I'm weak and timid, but I will still try my best for you. Yuri, you're not weak and timid. Did you see how much ass you kicked out there? You held your own for consecutive days, and we still managed to get out because of that. Hell, you almost took me down. Very few people can actually say that. Yuri stays silent, her face flushing while trying to look away. But I hurt you. How can you still stand to be near me? Because I care about you. Yuri, I like you. Yuri practically freezes in place. You shouldn't. And why do you say that? Because Yuri slowly rolls up her sleeves and shows me her wrists. A bandage wrap covers them from the wrist up to the elbow. Although I knew about them prior, the mere sight of how severe it is still shocks me. She must have cut really deep and had nothing to clean them with. Yuri. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Yuri starts to cry, still trying to avoid eye contact with me. Out of instinct, I scoot to the edge of the bed rail and wrap my arms around her. You don't need to apologize. Yes, I do. You trusted I won't do it again, and I promised you. I broke that, and I feel awful. The circumstances justify it. I guarantee that if what happened this last week hadn't occurred, you wouldn't have done this. Am I wrong? No. No, I'm not. You're a strong girl, and you proved it all. Don't think I stopped trusting you. If anything, I trust you even more now than I did back then. She finally wraps her arms around me, but she tightens her embrace. I can feel her sniffling as she cries. This girl, never thought I would ever find someone like her. She and I may have gone down different roads, but we hit the same potholes. And because of that, we've come to relate to each other in ways I don't think anyone is able to understand. And all I want is to protect this girl from any further harm. I want to be with this girl. We both release each other and I look up into her eyes. Yuri, I will protect you. I'll do whatever it takes to help you through your obstacles. Why would you do something like that? For someone like me? Because, thank God Julia isn't in here to see and hear this. Because I want to be by your side through all of it. I have feelings for you, Yuri. Yuri wipes away her tears and looks at me nervously. Huh? You don't really mean that, do you? I know we talked about this once before, but now I guess I'm ready. Yes, I really mean it. Yuri smiles and wraps her arms around me again. I close my eyes and hug her back. I actually did it. Never once did I think I would confess my feelings for Yuri, I've always been taught to suppress those feelings. And after all we've been through together, I can't ignore them anymore. This is an all too familiar feeling that is bittersweet. We both release each other and I lean back on the bed. Once I get back to school, everything can go back to normal. Literature club, and everyone happy and peaceful. Something I've needed for a long time.
Yes, I look forward to that.
Actually, Julia steps back into the room, putting her phone back into her pocket. Zero, you won't be returning to school. What? Why not? Julia paces into the middle of the room and looks down at the floor. Admin has decided, since you were targeted for information, that you should be relocated. No. Julia, don't do this to me again. I'm sorry, Zero. It wasn't my choice. The pain in my heart hurts more than the pain in my stomach. Why? Why, after all this? Here he struggles to hold back tears and looks away. Julia continues to avoid eye contact. I'm truly sorry, Zero. I was just notified of this. I assume I have no choice then? No. You're wrong. Huh? I do have a choice. Zero, you understand what will happen if you don't comply, right? I'll be taken to custody for insubordinance. Correct, and I don't want that. And I don't want to leave. You're really going to do this, aren't you? Yuri buries her face in her hands and silently cries. Oh, what? Oh, this is the choice? I was like, I mean, oh, no. I really just, really risking it all for a literature club. Oh, I guess I am also, I guess for Yuri too. I kind of forgot about that. I just kind of forgot about Yuri in the equation. It was just like, geez, really doing a lot just for literature, man. I mean, honestly, if we had to, oh man, what a hard choice, man. I really can't tell which one's the bad ending. Disobey orders. I mean, honestly, if it pulls a fucking trick on me and this is actually the bad ending, then holy shit, but I mean, I guess. I understand the consequences of my decision, but I do not wish to leave Yuri and the literature club behind. They mean too much to me to just abandon. Julia, I'm staying.
God damn it, Zero.
You said you would help me with my desire to live a normal life. By doing this, you're taking that one chance I have away.
It won't be your only chance.
Bullshit. Stop feeding me lies like I'm a child. I'm not a child anymore, Julia.